That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy. This is crazy. Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 119 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Stokes.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and aeronautical. But before we get into our longer stories that we have for you today, we got to catch you up on any of the weird news you may have missed this week. And, David, I have a very newsworthy headline right here. And it says,
Okay.
you might have snagged this one, I don't know, but Pierce Morgan insists he's not the pigeon lady from Home Alone 2.
I worked with Pierce once.
I think you're going to say you worked with the pigeon lady.
No, I worked with Pierce once. He was really nice. Like that
What?
guy. He was funny.
Did all of his pigeons come with him when you worked with him?
No, we had to keep the pigeons in his trailer.
They all got their own trailers. Wait, what did you work with them on? You can say it now.
I worked on the live coverage of the Oscars for whatever British news channel he works for.
Oh, I remember that.
That was one of the weirdest jobs I'd ever done.
Didn't they do that like overnight or something? That was like really weird hours, right?
Yeah, because we were working on England's
Oh,
time.
that's right. Yeah.
That shit was insane. We had that one guy show up at the hotel and threaten to kill everybody. That whole experience was something else.
Did you talk about that on the pod?
I don't think so. A lot of things were said that I probably shouldn't say on the podcast coming from his mouth that I don't even want to like try to work around.
Was Pierce Morgan the one trying to kill people with his pigeon gang?
I didn't say that.
Alleged.
Yeah, no.
We have to say alleged.
But like we almost had to like emergency like remove him from the area or something like that because they're like afraid that he was gonna like start attacking people at the hotel.
They thought Pierce Morgan was.
No, the guy that showed up.
That's what I thought, but then you made it sound like it was Pierce.
No, Pierce is a sweetheart. I like
one
Pierce.
of his pigeons didn't get a breadcrumb and he was livid.
Just
Fucking
livid.
But it's crazy because I'm looking at a picture of Pigeon Lady from Home Alone 2. She's the one in the park. She has all the pigeons on her.
I did see this article, I believe this morning when I was doing my early morning bathroom scrolls, if you know what I mean. But I remember seeing the side-by-side picture, and they are remarkably close.
Yeah, they look so alike.
So did he actually comment on it, or 'cause I just assumed that it was like an onion thing?
His co-host brought it up on Good Morning Britain.
Hell yeah,
It's
yeah.
just
That's what I was working on. Good Morning Britain.
And because it said, the lady said, "Can we just have a look at Home Alone 2? Because frankly, it is the best picture." Reed said, "Lots of people watch Home Alone 2 and wonder if this is you." And then he replied, "Why does this keep coming around? This is not me. I'm not the bag lady in Home Alone 2. And you damn right you're not her because you called her the bag lady, you piece of shit. She's Pigeon Lady."
Well, didn't she have a bunch of bags attached to her?
Yeah, because she's homeless. So, like, everybody has bags. That doesn't make you unique when you live on the streets in New York.
Are you sure she was homeless?
Actually, this is going to tie into my story very well.
Okay, I like that. I like where this is going.
No, she had, like, a bad relationship with their kid or something like that. Or is that the other guy in Home Alone 1 who hits people with the shovel?
I'm going to be real.
They really reused that trope really well. The scary neighbor or the scary homeless lady in the park who it turns out to be sweet and misunderstood.
Yeah.
No
That led to a lot of bad things. No. So, I mean, honestly, I could not tell you more than the fact that in Home Alone's, there was a small child who got left alone, and then he tried to kill some robbers with some really elaborate traps, and then Donald Trump was in one of them. That is as far as my knowledge goes because I saw them once when I was 5 and never again.
I've rewatched them recently, and they both hold up extremely well. People say 1 is better than 2, which is probably right, but 2 is still such an incredible movie and has a scene where Marv grabs the electrical outlet, the sink that's hooked up to the electricity, and he fucking turns into the skeleton, but the skeleton
We've talked about this. We've
I feel
talked
like
about this.
I always have to talk about it. And his hair is on a skeleton, and he's just screaming, and it's so funny. It gets me every time.
I feel like we've gotten onto the topic of Home Alone multiple times, but I just also you said you've watched them recently. Did that include the whole franchise? Did you watch 3, 4, 5, 6?
You know what? I watched 3. 3's not good at all, but there's like a nostalgia factor. Also, young Scarlett Johansson, which is kind of like interesting. You're like, whoa, there she is. But honestly, I didn't watch any of them after that, and I heard there's a Home Alone sequel with just a dog, which I really have to get my fucking hands on.
I mean, that's every day. Actually, I brought my dog to work today. That was fun.
Oh. Well, it's just like Air Bud, but like Home Alone. So it's just like
Yeah.
a dog, like, knocking over a bowl of kibble, and the robbers are creepy fucking dog food eaters, so they gotta stop and eat all the dog food, and then he distracts them for a little bit. You know how like all those movies go.
Yeah. What confirms my suspicion that we have already talked about this is the fact that I typed in Home Alone, and that didn't give me my answer. So then I started to type how many, and before I got to the W, it autocorrect from my history saying how many Home Alones are there.
Exactly.
So there's 5.
Not enough.
Never
Bring it back
enough.
with like the old versions of them. That'd be great. Anyway, so that's Pierce Morgan's bag lady / pigeon lady / murderer in your
Hold
hotel.
on, there's 6, including the 2021 future release.
Wait, there's another one coming out?
That's right, you heard it first.
Whoa, big breaking news here.
Direct to DVD sequel to Home Alone.
Oh, is that the one with the dog? Anyway.
There's absolutely no detail about it.
Let's leave it that way.
Yeah. until it comes out, then we can talk about it. Maybe we'll do a whole episode breaking it down.
Ooh. Anyway, do you have any news?
Yeah. So gangs are doing Fast and Furious style heists on moving semi trucks to steal PlayStation 5s.
Okay. So, speaking of the PlayStation 5, I've been going on
Yeah.
OfferUp because I always like going on OfferUp. You always just find something weird going on there. And literally everybody on OfferUp right now are price gouging with PlayStation 5s and Xboxes. And they're like charging they're like $1,000.
It's insane.
I'm like, who's buying this? Like, I don't care like how, this makes me sound like I'm not even a parent, so I don't even care. But if my kid was like, I want a PS5 so bad, I'd be like, you're waiting until they're normally priced. Like, I would never be the parent to like buy triple the price of a PlayStation just so my kid had it.
But I mean, that's what it is. It's just desperate parents.
I think so, but like, there's still a lot of them up there. Like, I don't know. I don't want to reward those people for price gouging.
No, fuck that. And then there's those guys that are selling literally just photographs of a PlayStation 5 printed out on paper on eBay.
Oh, and they're saying like, legally, I told you how much it weighed. Like, I saw that.
I
saw it on
one
Judge Judy before. Some guy bought
God.
a cell phone.
Judy, what are you doing?
And then he got a picture of his cell phone, and she's like, you lose the court case because you put the actual weight of the cell phone, not the weight of the piece of paper. So she fucking dinged him. She hit him in the head with a gavel.
God, well, I mean, obviously he's not going to win that in real court. That's why he took it to Judge Judy, and not even she's going to help him out.
No, he was fucked. He was already fucked.
Kind of feel bad for him.
Anyway, that's pretty cool. Chasing up behind a PlayStation. Not worth going to prison for, but worth filming.
Yeah.
I'd watch that heist.
Well, you can.
In the new Fast and the Furious movie.
Well, no, I think they actually have footage of people doing this shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Sucks to be a Best Buy driver at that point.
Yeah. Do they have Best Buys in England?
Oh, they're doing them in England.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is all happening in England. I think it's England gangs.
No, I think they sell most things out of just fish and chip shops.
Yeah, it's the UK.
Isn't every restaurant just fish and chip shop?
Yeah, I mean,
pub.
The Brits aren't known for their delicious food.
True. But I have another story. Speaking of how to make food delicious, as Mike Tyson smoked marijuana before exhibition fight against Roy Jones Jr.
Fuck yeah, I did.
So as many of you know, there was a fight for Triller, which is like a boxing company or whatever. And Logan Paul ended up fighting
Nate Robinson.
And Logan Paul won, and then Mike Tyson fought Roy Jones Jr. and they ended up having a draw, which is basically a tie. And they asked him about like his pre-fight preparation, and he was just like, "Yeah, I smoked a bunch of weed." And he said, "Listen, I can't stop smoking," Tyson said after the fight, which ended in a draw. "I smoke during fights. I have to smoke. I'm sorry. I'm a smoker. I smoke every day. I never stopped smoking."
Fuck yeah, man.
He goes, "It's just who I am," Tyson said about his marijuana habits. "It has no effect on me from a negative standpoint. It's just what I do and how I am and how I'm going to die. There's no explanation. There's no beginning. There's no end."
Holy shit. Have you ever seen that photo of him when he's super coked out?
No, but I've seen the fat photo of him.
Dude, you Google, do it right now. Google
Coked
Mike
out
Tyson coked
Mike
out.
Tyson. Is there any details to this picture? Oh, fuck, where he has the coke on his face?
Yes, he has literal cocaine on his face, and he looks like he's ready to murder a pack of wild dogs.
Yeah, he's pretty scary looking. Holy shit.
Love that photo.
I mean, he looks scary when he's not coked out, so, I mean, this is just...
And this is young Mike Tyson. This is prime Tyson.
Yeah.
Right?
Fuck.
Isn't that the one I'm thinking of?
Yeah.
Now
I mean,
I'm searching it. I feel like I saw a full body photo. Maybe you're just seeing the one that's just his face.
Yeah, probably. Doesn't
Boy.
matter. I could tell he's in his prime.
But neck
He's able to do
muscle
coke and keep boxing. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Mike Tyson, hell yeah.
Very cool.
He doesn't care anymore. That's what I love about him.
Why would you?
Exactly. He's
You're
Mike
one
Tyson.
of the greatest of all time in your sport, and I guess he's not retired anymore, but I mean, he was in The Hangover.
Michael Phelps literally just smoked a bunch of weed and won the most gold medals or whatever. So, I mean, there is a correlation between high performance athletes and just being high all the time now.
It's true.
But do you have one more story for us, David?
So I don't necessarily have another news story, but I have more of a personal news update that my sister texted me yesterday. So she said, "You were born with 2 club feet."
Oh, yes.
They were corrected with 2 little blue casts.
You had Forrest Gumps?
Yeah. It was hard to hold you because those casts would just swing around and scratch the crap out of my legs. There's a photo of you somewhere in a tie-dye onesie sitting in a baby swing with your dual leg casts.
Okay, so how could we get that recreation photo thing going on
But
for
today?
You better go find yourself a tie-dye onesie. You're in Oregon, they have them.
Yeah. And then she continued. She texted me again. Well, then she said, "I'm listening to the podcast. Obviously, thank you for the support." And then she texted me again saying, "You weren't the only one. I also had 1 club foot. The doctor's name put my cast on. He gave mom and dad the option to leave me a little pigeon toed because it would make me faster. Mom and dad, of course, were on board." And mom put me in a little ski outfit with baby skis and ski poles for their Christmas card that year to make it look like I'd been in a skiing accident.
Oh, my God. He's Sonny Bono.
If anybody wonders why I'm a bizarre, strange individual, it's my parents. Genetic. It's how I was raised, I guess. I don't know.
It's a little nature and nurture, but I feel like that's where we all get it from, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm pigeon-toed as well, and my parents always said the same thing too. They're like, we don't want to correct it because we're afraid it's gonna make them slower. Not that I'm the fucking I relied on my speed for anything.
I think
he's going pro.
I think your what's the word? Your angle of pigeon-toed is the wrong direction.
What are you talking about? That's duck-footed.
Them shits are damn near backwards, my dude.
I've seen like that guy. Or like you always sometimes like you'll scroll through Instagram, and obviously you'll see the guy from like Africa whose knees are like he was born with like backwards knees, or like the guy David's favorite thing is to send me is like the guy who doesn't have like his elbow connected, so he whips his arm around like a fucking like one of those things on New Year's that goes.
I send that to you.
I don't know. I feel like somebody sends it to me.
I don't think that. I don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. But it sounds awesome. So you need to forward
you ever seen,
that.
Like, guy with backwards knees, or like
yeah, I know. I've seen that for
broken.
Sure.
There'll be like a homeless guy in like Taiwan, and they're like, "Do the thing," and he just like whip his like crazy ass forearm like around, and it's like not connected to the upper part of his arm, and it's the most disturbing thing you've ever seen.
Yeah, that jelly arm needs to be in a garbage bag. That's for sure.
Anyway, okay. But good for you. Walk into the club like, what up? I got a club foot. So sweet,
yeah.
That's cool.
Double up, double or nothing. Why didn't I get the pigeon-toed option? What the fuck?
You look like Frankenstein's shoes that your feet look like.
They didn't let me out of the house.
Anyway, we should probably get into these stories that we have, right? Right, David?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But before we do, we just want to give a special shout out to one of our biggest fans, Daughtry Whitehurst. Thank you so much for listening. Your husband contacted us and said that you're our number one fan. No offense to the rest of you, but if you are, send us stuff.
You're slacking.
Like checks with the money part not filled out correctly. So just blank.
Oh, I'm so stupid. I thought you were talking about the cereal.
No. Okay, I'll take that.
I'll take that,
I know
too.
I'm not getting real checks.
You're talking about a blank check.
Yes, blank check.
Like that
great
Disney movie. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
I love that movie.
We should just have a movie podcast where we watch these great films. Dennis the Menace. Ooh, that's coming up in this.
If that comes with me not having to sit down and dedicate a good portion of my week writing a fucking story and just like spending half of the time trying to find a story and hitting my head in between the fridge door.
Oh, story of my life. Yeah, we just have to watch Dennis the Menace. Sign me up. Hey, new podcast on the horizon, guys. You heard it here first.
I'm sick of this shit.
You'll still get all the fun banter just without any of the hard work.
Fuck, man. Sign me up.
Anyway, so let's get into...
Even if I haven't seen the movie for 15 years, I'm ready.
So, let me get into my story. Now, David, as I just mentioned, I love Dennis the Menace, correct?
Oh, fuck yeah. I know you
okay,
do. We all know you do. If you've listened to this podcast within the last, 3 episodes, everybody knows how much you love Dennis T. Menace, assuming that the is his middle name.
It is.
Okay.
But you know who my favorite character is as well, right?
The hobo that eats the beans cold.
You fucking know it. He swallows a key. We're talking about Christopher Lloyd. And I love when you brought that up, on that episode, I was like, oh my God, I really do love that. And then just coincidentally, my girlfriend Katie decided to send me a list from an Instagram page she follows that it's like history cool kids or something like that. History something.
Very cool name.
It has
History cool kids.
Shut the fuck up. Anyway, so she sent it to me, and it was like the 12 rules for hobos back in like the early 1900s, and I was like, huh. And she said, you should do the history of the hobo. And I was like, that's interesting. So today I'm going to be telling you about some hobo history, David.
See, when it comes to me and you say the rules of being a homeless person, the first thing that comes to mind is that number one, there are no rules.
See, here's the thing that you don't understand. You're very ignorant, okay?
I guess.
Because there's a difference between a homeless person and a hobo.
Okay.
So that's where I'm going to get all into it. So strap in because we're going to learn about some hobo history.
My seat doesn't have straps.
Get the swing in the back behind you. What's that swing for?
Hey. Fuck. Damn it.
Oh, that's what it's used for. Fuck. Why do you have Jocko Flocko strapped in that thing?
Shut up. Almost got it down. Hold on.
What's that? What's that pointy part?
You shut the fuck up.
Okay, so let's get into the history of the hobo. See, David, a hobo, if you knew anything about Dennis the Menace, or actually, it's pretty clear that Christopher Lloyd was not a hobo. He was a creepy homeless guy. So a hobo is a migrant worker or homeless vagrant, especially one who is impoverished. See, the term originated in the northwestern United States around 1890. You hear that? You guys up in Oregon created the hobo.
Yeah, sorry, I got distracted there. That whole little goof gag I did with the swing thing scared the crap out of my fiancée. She thought I was in here dying or something.
She thought somebody was breaking in, or that you were having like a heart attack and grabbing everything on the shelf and pulling it down.
Yeah. Sorry, Riley. It was just a goof. It was a gag. I'm okay. Whoopsie.
So fun.
So you said the hobos were made in Oregon, huh?
in around 1890, northwestern United States.
Very cool.
And unlike a tramp who works only when forced to, and a bum who does not work at all, a hobo is a traveling worker.
Okay.
That's where you need to draw the line. Like I said, tramp, only when you're forced to work. Bum, you don't want to work at all. You're a lazy bum. Hobo, you want to work, but you travel on train from place to place and get odd jobs and stuff like that.
I really love how two of these, hobo and tramp, are both different types of clowns.
Exactly. I mean, we all know. I mean, you know your clown episode. Clowns draw a lot of inspiration from hobos. They also have the stick and bindle. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They have the 5 o'clock shadow. They have they drink, right?
The big shoes, the cigars, the booze,
the patches on the pants.
The
are
wounds
clowns so
that
homeless?
really need stitches.
Why are clowns so homeless? I don't get it. Are clowns? Do clowns just not get enough work in the first place, so they just by default look like that? And then everyone's like, "This is what clowns look like," and you're like, "No, we just don't make that much money."
they're just really worn down.
I think that's what it is, honestly. Anyway, so the origin of the term is unknown, but some have said that it derives from the term "hoboy."
See, I always assumed that hobo was like homeless, but I guess there's no B.
That's hobeless.
Hobeless. Oh my god.
So
my world is shattered.
There's a couple of them because no one actually knows where it comes from. So some say it's hoboy, meaning farmhand. From people that you would hire to work on the farm, or a greeting such as "Ho boy."
Wow.
While others believe it to be an abbreviation for homeless boy,
okay,
or my personal favorite, homeward bound.
Oh, great movie. Dogs,
great
cats,
movie.
wolves.
Yep,
There were
one cat.
No, cougar. Is that the one the cougar goes fucking flying off the cliff?
There's a couple of them. I know
There's a couple cougars.
Yeah. In my area.
Oh.
So to this day, though, the etymology of hobo is lost to history. But don't worry, because many aspects of the hobo lifestyle did survive the grueling train rides and cold bean cans. So I could tell you about them today. So many people would probably think that a hobo is just always, slicing apples at the local park with their switchblade.
Yeah.
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 But realistically, the hobo emerged at the end of the American Civil War in the 1860s, when many discharged veterans returning home or looking for work out west began hopping freight trains. Which is, that's like the main. You're not a hobo unless you're like near a train track. Like,
okay.
You have to like use the train because that's how you get from town to town to look for work.
Yeah.
So the train really does identify with the hobo lifestyle. Like, you have to ride trains. It kind of seems like hitchhiking didn't seem like a realistic thing because the cars went probably not that fast, and trains were just like zoom zoom
and free. He's hopped on.
You could hide on them. Exactly.
Yep.
So, although the hobo did exist as early as the mid-1800s, the hobo became much more prominent in the 1930s when the Great Depression hit, as many young men with no work and no prospects at home decided to travel for free by freight train and try their luck elsewhere. Like I said, it's all free ride, you know?
That damn depression. It was so great.
It was great. Grapes of Wrath. Which was about the great, obviously.
Was
it
it about
grapes?
Hold on, was that the one that had Leo?
That was the Great
Gilbert's.
Gatsby.
That's Gilbert's grapes.
Oh my god! Oh my god! We're all over the
am
place.
I wrong? I'm confused.
No, they're all different. They're all different things. Anyway. So, but as most of us know, hobo life isn't as easy or as magical as we're making it sound. As legendary hobo Jack Black, not that Jack Black, but a different Black Jack. I mean, fuck, Jack Black. He was white. But
You want to retake that one?
no. Anyway,
Like for dining night, I'm eating filet mignon.
So, legendary hobo Jack Black he would tell you if he was still around that it's not that magical. You see, Jack Black, whose real name was never found out, he went by a couple different aliases, but again, no one knew his name. Spent 30 years, 15 of which he spent in various prisons, as a traveling criminal, but more specifically, a stick-up man, a home burglar, a petty thief, and an opium fiend.
Oh, that's a nice one. That's a nice one to end that with.
Well, that's the weird thing where it's like, I feel like a lot of the time we forget that, like, people, like, sometimes, like opium, I feel like was just, like, might be completely wrong, but, like, as illegal as, like, alcohol. People are like, oh, come over and do some opium with me. And someone's like, oh, okay, Meryl. And then they'd rock over and fucking do opium and listen to a phonograph and just, like, stand in a corner and be like, this is groovy. But they say groovy. They said, like, this is the bee's knees.
Well, back in my day, things were as sweet as honey.
A spoonful of sugar? I never understood that song. Anyway, but like I said, this guy was...
You never understood that?
Well, I understood...
Medicine tastes like shit, and so you'd put sugar in it. Dumbass.
It's a metaphor, David.
No, it's not. It's a literal thing. It's not a metaphor.
This cat's playing with the mouse right next to me, and it's driving me crazy right now. Anyway.
Should punt it.
I'm going to punt it.
Open a window, line her up.
Get out of here.
I thought you locked the cats in the other room.
They obviously escaped.
Oh,
Katie's not doing her prison warden jobs. But speaking of prison, Jack ended up in prison and decided to write a book autobiography about his life on the train and called it You Can't Win. The book was actually packaged as an anti-crime book urging criminals to go straight. But it also had... Oh, I'm going to kill this cat. Katie, can you get the cat? It's like throwing a mouse around the living room. It's a fake mouse. It's not. I don't have mice. I don't have mice.
I wasn't concerned about you having mice. I was more concerned about the fact that your cat was playing with a carcass.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, I would approve of that. I approve this message. I have a lot of carcai around my house. So... Like I said, the book was packaged as an anti-crime book urging criminals to go straight, but it also had his statement. But it is also his statement of belief in the futility of prisons and the criminal justice system. Hence the title of the book. So he's basically just like, the criminal justice system's fucked up. You can't win when you're a hobo. You always get screwed over in the end, and we need to fix that. And everyone's like, whoa, man, that's pretty cool. And he's like, yeah, well, I'm still a hobo. So no one took him serious. So Jack tried his hand at writing later on in his life, helping to write a play called Salt Chunk Mary, which ended up flopping so bad there's actually no Wikipedia page about it anymore, which is really sad. But I would love to see Salt Chunk Mary. And
Salt Chunk Mary.
So it sounds like a Tom Waits song, honestly.
Sure.
And in the end, Jack is believed to have committed suicide in 1932 by drowning, as he reportedly told his friends that if life got too grim, he would row out to New York Harbor, and with weights tied to his feet, he would drop overboard.
Well, did he have weights tied around his feet?
Well, no one ever figured out what happened to him.
The weird thing is he was actually wearing a swimsuit.
So they never found his body. They never found out what happened, because like that's the thing with hobos. It's like they travel so often, and they're never in one spot that people don't corroborate like where they were. Especially back in 1932, you're just like, oh, last time I saw Jack Black, he was heading to Cincinnati, and now like he just never showed back up, and you're like, what happened? But in his book, You Can't Win, Black describes his state of mind as being ready for the river. So I mean, you put two and two together.
Yeah.
So the hobo life isn't all peaches and cream and cutting apples at the park with a little kid and, you know, cutting up a rug and cutting your own hair in somebody's rearview mirror while they're in the car. And they're like, what are you doing? And you're like, just give me a minute. I got to get the back. It's not all that, okay? David?
I was just letting you go.
Okay.
I just didn't want to stop you there.
Oh, thanks. Okay, so, but he, apparently also Jack Black was friends with William S. Burroughs, he was an author of like Naked Lunch, which was like a really popular book. And that's like why Jack Black's known today, is because William was like, where's old Jack Black? Did he jump over the ship and kill himself? And he was like, we don't care.
No one really knew him that well. No one cares.
Yeah.
If you don't know, no one knows, buddy.
Exactly. It's kind of sad, but like that's the life they live. Like that's what happened. And like when you're a hobo, like you're off the grid. Like you don't stay in one place for too long. And as you could tell from Jack's life as a hobo was dangerous. In addition to the problems of being illiterate, poor, and far from home and support, plus the hostility of many train crews, they faced the railroad's security staff, nicknamed Bulls, who had a reputation of violence against trespassers. Moreover, riding on a freight train is dangerous in itself, and British poet W.H. Davies lost a foot while he fell under the wheels of the train while trying to jump aboard a train.
Oh yeah.
They also say it was easy to be trapped between cars, and one could freeze to death in bad weather. And when freezer cars were loaded in an ice factory, any hobo inside was likely to be killed.
Fuck that.
So I mean, there's like I can't imagine like just if my foot went under a railroad car, I'd just be like, fuck. I'd like let go and be like, I'm just gonna go all the way under. This is too much.
I got. How do I get my ankle? How do I get my neck where my ankle is?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, there's no point. I'm just gonna jump right under there.
Especially in the 30s. Holy shit.
Yeah, and then people just getting smushed between cars, freezing to death, or like. Literally, I think that like in freezer cars loaded with ice, I feel like what they would do is like drive up and then they would just like pull that like big lever thing and didn't like ice cubes would like fall down into the freezer car. Maybe I'm wrong, but they said that the hobo inside was most likely killed. So it's like, what does that mean when they loaded it?
I thought they'd back it on up into a big old freezer.
But it says when freezer cars were loaded at an ice factory, any hobo inside was likely to be killed.
Oh, maybe they just stuffed that thing up with half cows.
Well, I'm thinking that they just like pulled a lever and a bunch of ice cubes fucking fell into like the open top of the car, and the guy got like buried alive under ice or something like that.
Boy.
That's just my theory.
You think they filled it all the way up with ice?
I don't know.
They didn't have ice cubes back then. They just had those big old blocks that they put in the old ice chests or whatever they call it. I have one of those. My parents have one of those in their house.
They use the big hooks to like carry the ice up to your front door. It's like
Have you ever seen one of those fridges?
Like an ice box?
Yeah, they're pretty wild.
I've seen them on like the Three Stooges and stuff like that, but not in person.
Yeah,
no.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I grew up with one that we had as like a furniture piece. Like we kept stuff. I remember we kept all like the
Antique.
Coloring. Yeah, like I had all my like coloring shit in like one of the drawers, and it was a trippy thing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
But up next, David, I would like to play with you a little game.
Oh.
What? You like little games?
I like the ambulance.
Oh, you hear that?
That was a cop car.
I don't know what that was, but they're after me. Anyway,
Yeah,
So,
let's play a game.
So, David, now I'd like to read to you some hobo terms, and I would
Okay.
like for you to guess what they mean.
I like this game.
Yeah, it's a fun game. Katie made me cut some of them away because she said there's too many. So I got like 20 here. I had like
Holy
40.
fuck. Okay, let's burn
There's
through these.
Yeah, so let's do it. So, David, what's a bad road?
A bad road is a just having like a bad trip, like going
So-
like when you're going to like your next job or whatever, you're going to the next city, like it was like a shitty trip.
Okay, no. Good guess, but it's a train line rendered useless by some hobo's bad action or crime. So basically, don't ride that train because some hobo did something bad on that train,
Okay.
and now they hate hobos and they're looking out for us. And
I was
they're,
kind
like,
of
trying
thinking that, but yeah, okay.
So, what's a barnacle, David?
A barnacle would be a hobo who stays on a train for too long.
Oh, that's a good guess. No, it's actually a person who sticks to one job a year or more.
Okay.
So he's just kind of a barnacle in the town.
Okay.
This one's easy. What's a beachcomber?
People that sleep at the beach.
Close. A hobo who hangs around docks or seaports.
Okay.
As we know, what is a bindle stick, David?
That's that big old stick with the bandana at the end that you stuff all of your mysterious belongings into.
Exactly. A collection of belongings wrapped in cloth and tied around a stick.
No, it's a bandana. It's either red or blue.
Yeah, but the thing is, those bandanas are so small. Do they used to be bigger? Have you ever tried to tie like stuff up in a bandana?
I have. I have tried to make one of these before.
Yeah, they're impossible. You
Yeah, I
can't.
don't get it.
You can't fit anything in there.
Don't get it.
Don't get it. So, what's it mean to boil up, David?
Do heroin.
Opium, you meant? No,
Sure.
it's specifically to boil one's clothes to kill lice and their eggs, generally to get oneself as clean as possible.
That's what Frank Reynolds does.
He boils his clothes to get rid of all those lice.
Though in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, him and Charlie boil their clothes.
They boil the jeans.
Yeah.
Jeans. Okay, what's a bone polisher?
Toothbrush.
Oh, that's a good one.
Comb.
No, Katie thought it was a prostitute.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I do too. No, it's actually a mean dog.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
A bone. Oh, watch out! They got a bone because people had dogs as security back then. You know.
Well, you know what, bud? They do today.
You're right, but more likely at a railroad. They got a nice,
Oh, yeah.
Doberman,
Junkyard dog.
nice bone polisher.
Yeah.
And what's a bone orchard, David?
I don't know.
It's a graveyard. That
Okay.
one was easy. I kind of threw it. Oh, this is
I
our
was
favorite.
just thinking
David.
it's gonna be more complicated than it was. I was overthinking.
Yeah, of course not. No. But this is our favorite, David. What are bullets?
Bullets.
no, David,
Train.
They're beans. They're beans, David.
Because they shoot right out you.
Okay, what's a burger?
Hold on, I have a quick question. Why did they have a code word for graveyards? How frequent were they with
'cause I think-
graveyards?
I think possibly I don't think they would rob the graveyards, but usually it was a safe place to sleep because nobody was there.
And quiet. Okay.
Yeah.
So you
Also,
said,
they have
what's a hamburger?
mausoleums. They have mausoleums and stuff like that, which are like little houses.
Yeah, but those are usually like,
Well,
barred
they're
up and shit,
locked
right?
and
Yeah.
they're locked and stuff. But I think you could probably back in the day they probably get in them pretty easily.
slip
I've
through
seen
the
open
bars.
mausoleums when I go to graveyards sometimes.
How often do you go to graveyards?
7 days a week.
Ooh, okay. That's where I eat my lunch.
That's where I polish my bones. Speaking of lunch, what's a burger, David?
Whatever the fuck they're eating.
Yeah, yep. It's today's lunch.
Yeah.
Look at that, you got one.
I count that as
Okay.
a half point.
This is another one you might get. California blankets.
Beach towel? Is it a beach towel?
Close. No, close.
Okay.
It's actually
Digging yourself in
newspapers.
sand? Oh.
No. You dig yourself in sand, make some nice boobs before you go to sleep, put
Yeah.
a penis down there.
No,
Oh,
don't
so
be silly.
funny.
If you put boobs on that, you're a target.
I woke up all wet. Why is it so wet? Anyway, like I said, they're newspapers. You know, you just need a
Okay.
thin blanket in California. A cannonball is.
Cannonball is taking a big old dumper off a bridge.
Oh, that would be really cool. Actually, no, it's a fast train.
Okay.
But I like yours so much better. Okay, to catch the westbound, David.
To get on a fucking a train that's going west.
No, it's to die.
Oh.
He caught the westbound.
Uh-oh.
To chuck a dummy? That also sounds like taking a shit off the bridge.
Yeah. Or take a shit off a train. To smoke a cigarette that you found on the ground.
Oh, I like that too. I like your book of hobo terms. No, but it's
I just need to become a hobo.
You're halfway there, buddy.
Yeah.
But it's to pretend to faint, which is so funny.
Another thing you have to do a lot as a hobo is to pretend to faint.
They're like, we can't kick the shit out of him. He fainted. Like, I don't know why that's gonna come in handy, but whatever. David, what are cooties?
Just getting sick. I don't know.
It's body lice.
Oh. Okay. Is that the origin?
Oh, I don't know. Probably, maybe.
I'd buy it.
Yeah. Okay, I got a couple more left. Honey dipping.
Oh, that's when you only wash the balls.
Oh no, that's so good. No, it's actually working with a shovel in the sewer.
I could be right though.
You could be. To grease the track.
Oh, I don't want to answer that one.
What is?
Rubbing one out.
No. It's actually to be run over by a train.
I like that. That's good.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Okay, what are crumbs, David?
Crumbs or whatever scraps you can find in the waste bin to eat.
Nope, it's lice.
Guys,
It's lice.
is there okay?
Wait.
I'm not asking for hints, but is lice the answer of another one of these?
Yes. Rule of threes.
Okay.
You're gonna get it. Shit. Okay. Next one. Mulligan stew.
Okay, that's gotta be just soup of whatever the fuck you can boil.
Yeah, it's a type of community stew created by several hobos combining whatever food they have or can collect.
Is
Okay?
that like what's that called when you have like a stew that just never stops cooking? You just keep adding shit to it.
Do people do that?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Oh, it's like you add like a cup from like your previous stew to like your new stew or something.
Well, I think it was like a thing way back, like maybe like medieval times, where they just had like this cauldron continuously cooking, and like when it started to get low, you just throw whatever you had in it, and it just never stopped going.
Oh yeah, because that's all people ate were just like fucking pots of food with
Well,
like
because you
water.
just boil shit so it didn't kill you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know what those are called, but possum belly.
That's diarrhea.
No,
You ate the wrong thing, and now you got possum belly.
most likely ate a possum, right?
You're bleeding out from possum belly.
No, it's to ride on the roof of a passenger train because one must lie flat on his or her stomach to avoid being blown off the train.
And playing dead.
Yep. What's a punk?
Is that lice?
No, it's any young kid is a punk.
Okay.
Hey, what's a punk?
I
A
think I used it up, so I don't know if I can guess lice again.
Okay, well, we got three more. So we got Sky Pilot.
Okay, Sky Pilot. See, I would have thought Sky Pilot was someone who rides on top of the train.
You would think. It's actually it's a funnier term for
people
this.
It's people that jump off of bridges onto trains.
Oh, god damn. Who are you, Neo? Jesus Christ. These guys are literally, if they literally twisted their ankle, they'd be dead. So I don't think I feel like they're not doing that.
This twisted ankle's giving me possum belly. I don't think I'm going to make it.
All these crumbs in my hair and shit. No, it's actually a preacher or minister. A Sky Pilot, which I really like.
I get it.
Spare biscuits.
What about a rubber biscuit?
I don't know what that means.
Oh, you don't know Rubber Biscuit?
Oh God, no.
It's a great song.
Anyway.
Rubber Scott. Fuck, what was it?
It's spare biscuit. Spare biscuits.
Spare biscuits. Is that like when you share food with the homeless people? Or not homeless people, fuck. The hobos.
No, that's a good guess. It's actually looking for food in a garbage can.
Okay,
Spare
so then the
biscuits
next
looking
one's lice.
Yeah. So what are graybacks?
Gorillas?
No, it's lice again.
Yeah.
So
But they must
cooties,
have good
crumbs, and
vision.
graybacks.
They got such good vision they can see the back of a fucking lice. A flea. Do they have fleas?
They probably had fleas. They probably had lice. Probably had crabs. They probably had what else? What else do people have? Hep C, Hep B, Hep A,
Hep F.
Hep train ankle,
Train ankle, possum belly.
belly.
I'm going to continue to use possum belly.
You like that?
I want
one.
that to catch on.
Bullets. I ate too many bullets today, Mama.
Yeah.
Now Bush is mad at me because I'm making stew.
I'm making stew with my possum belly.
So around the end of World War II, that's the end of the list, but around the end of World War II, railroads began to transition from steam to diesel locomotives, making jumping freight trains more difficult. This, in combination with increased post-war prosperity, led to a decline in the number of hobos. But in the 70s and 80s, hobo numbers increased by returning Vietnam War veterans, many of whom were disillusioned by settled society, and with faster trains, tighter security, more vehicles on the road, and more workforce structure, such as like unions and stuff, the hobo numbers did decrease over the years. And although the numbers were down, hobos still existed, and unfortunately for many hobos, life was still dangerous. But this time, it wasn't the weather, fast train, or booze. It was their fellow man who was the danger. And that's why I just want to read this quick little excerpt about Robert Joseph Silveria Jr., also known as the Boxcar Killer.
Ooh, that's fun.
You see, the Boxcar Killer is an American serial killer and hobo who traveled the Americas, murdering up to 28 other hobos.
Shit.
So Silveria Jr. Was said to have been running with a violent gang of other hobos and went by the name Sidetrack.
That sounds like a transformer.
Oh, dude, it does sound like a transformer.
That has to be a transformer.
Guess what, dude? Other members, they had names too.
Okay.
You want to hear them?
Do I want to hear them?
Here's my favorite. Okay, here they are. There's three more guys. Ready? We got one. We got one, Sidetrack. We got two, Dogman Tony.
That's also a transformer.
Next, we got Desert Rat.
Very cool.
Pretty good. Here's my favorite
Very
one.
cool.
And lastly, we have Arkansas Bobcat. They're great. Those are
really good
names, right?
Yeah. I did Google it. Sidetrack is in fact a transformer.
Oh, fuck. Well, they have to pay Boxcar
Royalties.
Killer a couple dollars. So, a couple monies, Jesus. So,
on Wikipedia, there's a photo of Sidetrack, and it says formerly partnered with Quick Mix, Distractor, and ADHD-tron.
ADHD-tron?
Yeah, and it's capital ADHD and then a tron. ADHD-a-tron.
Oh, no.
That was a fucking transformer? Hold on. This is not okay. Now I gotta fucking...
Can I finish my story, David?
No. This is too much.
So Silveria's criminality was rooted in a violent childhood, like I said, violent childhood, drug and alcohol use, and a pivotal incident at a Vancouver, Washington mental health agency when an attendant told a desperate Silveria, "Everyone has problems, and to take a number and sit down." So he's like, "I need mental help," and she said, "Everyone has problems, take a number and sit down." So to conjure the rage necessary to bludgeon and stab his victims, which was his MO when he was on the trains, Silveria would summon the memory of the incident by repeating the words "take a number" over and over while killing his victims.
Wow.
Yeah, really
You
disturbing.
could have just done a story about that dude.
I know, but like, there's not a lot of information because all of the people he killed were like, I mean, I'll say right here, law enforcement officials say group members, primarily Silveria Jr., are responsible for as many as 100 murders along the railroad tracks, including hobos thrown off trains or executed with a machete, axe, or sharp buck knife and left on the tracks at night to be run over by oncoming trains. And many of the killings were classified as suicides or accidents, and few were even registered outside this jurisdiction where they occurred. So like I said, these deaths were so under-recognized by the police that like they weren't reported on. So these hobo guys were like, we killed this many people, but it was all like going off their word. And and like I said, they would leave them on the tracks so people would go, oh, this hobo got like ran over by a train because he got drunk and fell asleep on the tracks. And they probably didn't even like look into like, oh, this guy's machete like hits to his head because he got mangled under the train at that point. You know what I mean?
Especially back, like, what year was this? Is this still 30s?
This was actually in like the 70s.
Oh, okay.
But like still, they were still like fringe society. It happens all the time with like sex workers and homeless people still.
Oh,
like people find them dead and they go like, what happened? They go, oh, we don't know. Nobody can. Yeah, exactly. The people that were like around them might have left and now nobody knows what happens to them. It's like crazy.
Yeah.
So Silveria Jr. was finally caught in 96 when he was found with a gun belonging to another dead hobo. And he actually thought about killing the officer when he was confronted, but he said God told him not to, and God told him to come clean, allowing him to confess to all of his murders. So right now he's currently serving a double life sentence in Wyoming.
Jesus. So yeah, he's still alive.
Oh, he's still alive.
In the 70s.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, he would just kill all these people. We don't even know if he actually killed 26 people, but he confessed to, 26 murders, and they said that him and his gang probably killed over 100 people. They just, like, don't know because they traveled around so much.
Yeah.
They didn't really have, like, an MO, and the people that they killed were, undesirables in society that they could get away with killing because nobody was like, hey, where did John go? It's just like, no, he's gone. He's dead. Nobody knew. Because, like, let's just say John was, like, hanging out with all of his friends that day, and then he's like, oh, I'll be right back. I'm going to go, like, over to the railroad station. They kill him. They just think John hopped a train and went to a different town. It's like...
Oh, yeah. They didn't have Facebook. You can't update your town.
No, they had lice, though.
They did. The lice were the ones that were communicating.
They're like Ant-Man. They could talk to each other, and they form bridges for people to walk across, and... electric ants haywire all the chips in the security system. You guys seen the movie? You've
seen it.
You know how it works.
I wonder what's going through a lice's head when they see their ride get decapitated.
When they see their what? Their ride get decapitated?
Yeah.
Oh shit, we're fucked.
They just start walking.
Oh God, that's so bad. That's a whole movie right there. That's a Pixar movie.
It really
The opening
is.
scene is a hobo getting decapitated, and all the lice colony that lives on his head, like, where do we go now? It's kind of like Horton Hears a Who, but instead of them living on a dandelion or whatever, just a bunch of lice living on a severed hobo head.
You hear that, Pixar? we want full control. I want Anthony Mackie to do my character.
Who's your character? Are you one of the lice?
Yeah.
This doesn't make sense. You want an actor to play some character that you... This does not make sense, David.
I get full control. And
Are you
I
the
want
hobo?
Anthony Mackie to play me.
Who are you in this 1970s or 1930s hobo story?
I'm me, but played by Anthony Mackie.
Okay.
I don't get where you're getting confused here. It's me, but it's Anthony Mackie's voice.
I'm sorry.
And there's lice.
Yeah, there's nothing
and
to
there's
question.
trains and beans. We're gonna need Jim Belushi to do the bean.
Oh, I wish. Anthony Mackie and Jim Belushi is the comedy duo we've all been waiting for. Get them on a sitcom together.
Yeah. Who's the love interest?
It's called Beans and Graybacks. No. Beans. Oh, I like Beans and Crumbs better. Beans and Crumbs.
Oh,
right?
boy.
That's fun.
Crumbs eating bullets.
Okay. We could do this all night, baby.
We really
so
could.
I'll wrap this up with, although the hobo life seems so far from our own lives, I wanted to end with something that we can connect us home dwellers to these vagabonds of the rails. I wanted to read you the Hobo Ethical Code that was created by the Hobo Union, Tourist Union 63 during its 1889 National Hobo Convention.
Very good. Wouldn't you be excited to be like the hotel that hosts someone calls you and say, "Hey, I want to host a hobo convention. Are you guys available?"
Do you guys take beans? He's like,
Do you guys take
we have to
bullets?
get. They're like putting up the fucking circus tent around the hotel before they even get there. They're just like, yeah, we're gonna have to like bomb this place. It's gonna have so many lice in it. It's crazy.
It's on their schedule. The bombing is at 7:30. Make sure you don't miss it.
Everybody wear your lyceus clothes to the ballroom. But this was in 1889, which is crazy. Like, so hotels were just like a bathtub and a straw pile on the floor.
Yeah.
So I want to read you these real quick, and there's 16 of them, but I'll go fast.
Holy shit. Okay.
Dude,
I'm not gonna
hobos
say
have
a
laws
word.
too. They're great though, and they're very interesting. So I'll read 16 to 1. If present at a hobo court, you have testimony. If present at a hobo court and you have testimony, give it. Whether for or against the accused, your voice counts. So they're very ethical. You know, they're like,
Okay.
go to court, show up to court. 15. Help your fellow hobo whenever and wherever needed. You may need their help someday. 14. Help all runaway children and try to induce them to return home. 13. Do not allow other hobos to molest children. Expose all molesters to authorities. They're the worst garbage to infest any society.
I like that. I wish
That's
it was
pretty
maybe a
cool.
little higher on the list, but I do like it.
Well, it's kind of crazy that they had to put that in their bylaws. Like it was obviously like,
That's just a PR move.
yeah, the hobos are like, we need to really fix it. Like I walk through the park, they all think I'm a molester. I don't know what to do.
It just takes one bad apple.
Oh, you can't cut the apple in front of the kid?
Nope.
It was Christopher Lloyd was the bad apple. Who knew what he was gonna do at Dennis? Anyway, so
God.
dude, now that movie's way more grim. 12. Do not cause problems in a train yard. Another hobo will be coming along who will need a passage through that yard. 11. When traveling, ride your train respectfully. Take no personal chances. Cause no problems with the operating crew or host railroad. Act like an extra crew member. 10. Try to stay clean and boil up whenever possible. You know, get rid of them lice.
Boil up, boys.
Roll out. Is that what they said? Like when their fucking the Decepticons came out? Boil up. And they all like fucking got naked and just threw their shit into a big stew and cooked it.
Meep, 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 meep. Their fucking pants come off.
I love that. Do it again.
Meep, 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 meep.
That's what I make. That's the sound I make when I take my pants off.
I know.
So anyway.
I've heard it. I've been in your living
Wait,
room and you're like,
what?
oh, I gotta go to the bathroom real quick.
What do you mean you've heard that?
You go into the bathroom and I heard you in there.
Oh, that wasn't the pants. That was the bullets. You hear me go in the
Little
bathroom and all you
possum belly.
hear is chick, chick. Oh, I got bullets in here. Anyway, so number 9. If in a community jungle, always pitch in and help. And a jungle is actually a hobo encampment near the railroad, so it's where they all
Okay.
hang out. It's called the jungle. Number 8, always respect nature. Do not leave garbage when you are jungling, which I also highly respect because
Yeah, it's
I
like camping.
hate litter. I hate littering. Number 7, when jungling in town, respect handouts and do not wear them out. Another hobo will be coming along who will need them as badly, if not worse than you. So don't take advantage of the handouts in the town. Number 6, do not allow yourself to become a stupid drunk and set a bad example for locals' treatment of other hobos. So don't mess up the reputation. Another fair one.
Yeah.
5, when no employment is available, make your own work by using your added talents at crafts. I don't know what that means fully, but like
Okay.
maybe like make like a chair and try to sell it or something. I don't know.
Sure. Yeah.
If you knew how to make a chair. Number 4, always try to find work, even if temporary, and always seek out jobs nobody wants. By doing so, you do not only help a business along, but ensure employment should you return to that town again. Which I thought was really interesting, to take jobs that no one else wanted. I was like, oh, wow, like, that's, you never really think about that. I mean, it can't really happen nowadays with, like, you can't just, like, roll up to, like, a barber shop and be like, let me sweep hair here. And people are like, we're not going to pay you for this. Like, there's, like, licensing things that we have to go through. But
especially when you're covered in lice. Please get out of my barber shop.
I didn't think about that. As the barber cuts off his head, Sweeney Todd style, all the lice cheer in joy as they see the piles and piles of hair all over the ground.
We know they don't eat hair, you moron.
No, but they like it.
They
It's
just want
familiar.
that. They just want that bloody scalp.
I guess they do. Stop! My fucking head's itchy now, dude. I don't like this anymore. I got crumbs in my hair. Crumbs in my hair. Anyway, so number 3. Don't take advantage of someone who is in a vulnerable situation, locals or other hobos. Number 2, when in town, always respect the local law and officials and try to be a gentleman at all times. And number 1, which I thought was very apt to just anybody. If you're not a hobo, if you are a hobo, remember this one. Decide your own life. Don't let another person run or rule you.
Nice.
And that's how I wanted to end it. That's the hobo
Lovely.
life, man. And those are the bylaws. So follow the goddamn bylaws, and we won't have to cut your head off. I feel like I'm going to have a bunch of hobos showing up at court for this one.
Yeah, probably. And then you're going to have to go to so many courts.
Jungles. So many what?
So many courts.
Yeah, a lot of courts. Anyway.
You got so many courts to go to.
So that's quarts of pee in my tent, more like it. I've been saving it up. It's sterile. Mm-hmm. But that's my story. So I hope you guys enjoyed a little hobo history, and now you know a little bit more. So if you ever want to go train hopping, remember the 16 rules, and I think you'll be okay.
Do these still apply?
Yeah.
Is this still a thing?
The National Hobo Convention is held every year at the McDonald's near my fucking house, apparently. I'm just kidding.
I know that McDonald's. I've eaten there.
You're like, wait, it's held at my McDonald's, and I think somebody smoked cigarettes in the bathroom. The chairmen are smoking cigarettes in the bathroom, making their final decisions on amendments. I literally walked into a Starbucks bathroom one time, and it smelled like somebody smoked a pack of cigarettes in there, and everything was wet. Somebody took like a shower bath. I mean, a sink bath, but it's like, I feel bad for people.
They had a cannonball.
They had.
Is that the one I called washing? What did I say was washing
shit off
your balls?
the bridge? Yeah.
No, what? No, which one? No, cannonball shitting off the bridge. What did I say was washing your balls?
Honey dipping or something.
Honey
like that?
dipping, yeah. He was honey dipping in that bathroom.
Yeah, he was. He's also chucking a dummy. Fuck. Anyway, so that's my story, and I hope you guys really enjoyed it.
Beautiful. So I guess I'll get into my story now. Now, Tobin, let me ask you: are you a big airport guy?
No. Who is?
Now, I am a huge airport guy.
In what aspects? You didn't even say airplane. Just airports?
Airports. I fucking hate the airplane. I don't fit on those fucking things. I'm
I
always
hate the whole
squeezed.
experience.
I love to have layovers. I love to get there early. And I love to lie to my family and tell them that I'm landing at 5 p.m. when I've really been bar hopping and people watching at the airport since noon.
Wait, you've already landed or you haven't?
Yeah, no,
yet?
I've been there since noon, and I'm hopping around the airport bars.
Oh, that would be such a fun vacation if you had to spend the whole thing like Tom Hanks style in like the Terminal movie where he just lives in the airport.
I kind of did that once.
Oh, really?
It was like a day though.
It's still cool.
It was in the Paris airport.
Oh.
Because I landed there and I had like 14 hours of a layover, and there was a hotel in the airport, and so I stayed at the hotel.
Oh.
So because the Paris airport's not very close to like the city of Paris, and it was just like not enough time to like try to like make it there and back to the airport with all my shit. So I just like stay at the hotel and just kind of dicked around.
Yeah, you just like went out in front of the airport and fought a mime and then like got back on the plane. All right, that's fair.
You mean just absolutely embarrass a mime? A fight would suggest that there were, it was a two-way battle. It was a one-way battle.
He tried to use his rope, that dumbass.
I put him in a box.
Put him in a coffin. I greased the tracks with his ass.
No, but I love people watching at airports. Fucking love it.
It's great.
I love getting it, sitting at one of those bars that's like next to the window. You can like see people going to their flights. I'd love to just sit there and have a few beers and just watch people like. You got that one guy in the cargo shorts running for his fucking life.
I like my favorite is the guy who has the rolly suitcase and it keeps turning over while he's running full speed. It's just like he's dragging it and then it sometimes like goes on the wheels and then it goes back over to the other side.
Yeah. Oh,
it's
so
great.
Good. So good. I also love like you always see like it's either a mom or a dad who just looks like they would have rather have hopped on the back of that motorcycle and never got married.
And also, why can't you run with a backpack on? Why is this so fucking hard? It always goes back, and you have to like take the backpack off if you're gonna run.
I mean, do you want to break into the physics of it?
No, I'm just saying. Something
See,
I noticed.
I'm not alone though, because my dog loves the airport. Kuma loves the airport. He's all right on planes. He's small enough that I can put his carrier in the seat in front of me, which is really nice. If he was like an inch bigger in any direction, he would not be able to. He fits barely in there.
Oh no.
But he's fine. I give him my Cheez-Its. But no, he loves the airport because there's just like tons of little kids and parents that are just so distraught by traveling with small kids. And because my dog loves little kids.
Oh, okay.
And so he just like runs up to them and they like pet him for a few minutes, and I could just see like their parents like being able to just like stand up straight and like crack their back and just like take a breath.
Yeah.
So we've talked about this topic here and there, teasing and tempting people, but I think it's about time we talk about the Denver airport.
I knew it was coming. I knew it. That's obviously the most legendary airport, right?
It's been on the back burners for a while until I got really desperate. I couldn't find anything else. Now, to know where conspiracy theory begins can always help you with, figuring out what exactly is going on. So the Denver International Airport was a replacement airport to remove the original Stapleton Airport, which was outside of Denver. The Denver International Airport, a.k.a. the DIA, which, if you say it enough times, it sounds like an acronym of a secret society that overpowers the government and probably has some scaly skin, if you know what I mean.
I think you're projecting.
The DIA?
Yeah, it sounds like the CIA.
DIA?
Yeah, but if I said like PXD enough times, you'd be like, oh, maybe that's like a secret society, right?
PXD sounds like mind control to me.
Oh, like DMT.
That's not mind control, is it? I thought that just made you feel like the shit you feel when you die.
MK Ultra.
Yeah, MK Ultra.
There we go.
There you go.
Dude, we solved it, guys.
That's the answer.
Denver airport is actually just MK Ultra.
Exactly.
There we go.
So, sorry, I got a little off track there. We always do. What I was trying to say is that the DIA was built in 1995 to replace the old airport, and since its construction, people have been very suspicious of it. Usually, when it comes to conspiracy theories, the one thing. God, what the fuck did I write?
Oh, there we go, Alex. Hey, how's it going?
So when it comes to conspiracy theories, the one with the crosshairs on their head deny the bizarre accusations. So like, the people in charge usually like, no, like there's nothing going on. But the DIA is very different. The airport's officials are more than happy to help fuel the conspiracy theories of the insane ideas, because they believe that all press is good press, which
it's true.
I mean, if it's an airport, yeah, why not? Fuck it.
Yeah.
What are you going to not fly? You need to go to Denver. You're just going to fly the next closest one and drive? Like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know who, if you believe in it, you want to go to the DIA then, because then you
I
can
know.
do all your investigative journalism when you're layover or right when you
Exactly.
land, you know?
That's not the investigation I do.
No cowards on my team. You fly straight into the maw of the beast. You don't fucking tiptoe around the DIA. You go straight in. You infiltrate.
Don't forget to like, subscribe. So Heath Montgomery, the senior public information officer at the airport, said, "We decided a few years ago that rather than fight all this and try to convince everybody there's nothing really going on, let's have some fun with it." But that sounds like a classic move to admit that the strange shit really is going on. Wink,
But
wink,
if-
wink.
but if
It's
they
just a
denied it-
joke. Wink, wink.
If they denied it, you'd be saying the same thing, right?
No, what are you talking about? Shut up.
You can't win.
Exactly.
Like, just show us the aliens, then I'll believe you. I'd be like,
Why
and then
play
they show
a
you-
game if you can't win?
They show you the aliens. You'd be like, okay, now show me the real aliens. You'd be like, oh god, there's no. Anyway, but yeah, there's always another floor down below.
So what I love about this whole airport conspiracy theory stuff is that it's not just like one specific conspiracy theory, but it's like there's like a shit ton of stuff going on, and it's kind of became a safe haven of madness where anything flies. Haha,
yeah.
get it?
Ha!
So the first one up, got to come in with a heater. So I'll start it off with one of the oldest and most well-known conspiracy theories about the airport, and that is the tunnel system.
I've heard about this. I don't know
Yes.
much about it though.
So what are these tunnels? The official report from Jesus, that's kind of hard to say. The official report from the airport is that these deep, massive cement tunnels under the airport are used for many things, but mostly for drivers to pull baggage carts to every end of the airport. And I believe that's also where they like move, like the
VIPs.
well, not VIPs, but it's like where they move, like the food, like
Oh.
the hot dog buns.
Oh yeah.
And boy, I lost my place in this one. I wrote too many big paragraphs.
Yeah, hot dog buns will do it to you. I swear.
See, it would help
Did
if I wrote the word hot dog buns. I'd be able to find it in a second.
Would you write?
I didn't. I just kind of freeballed that one.
Ah, fuck.
But yeah, mostly it's for people to pull baggage carts around. The airport also includes to say that thousands of employees use the tunnel every day, kind of saying, nothing shady's going on. Like thousands of people are there every day and they're not seeing anything. So when the airport was originally being created, it was hit with a delay and fell behind schedule, which led the public to come up with some ideas on, what the hell is going on here. If something gets delayed, something shady is going on, because if a mastermind super society that was worth millions of dollars was making a base under an international airport, they wouldn't have been prepared to avoid setbacks. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I don't know what to say. I'm so confused. Yes.
I'm being sarcastic that if a secret society was actually doing this shit, then they probably wouldn't have had delays.
Okay.
It was a sarcastic but confusing sentence.
I just don't. I want to agree with you so you don't murder me at this point. I know I know about the DIA's real. I'm a DIA agent.
Yeah, a DI agent. I'm a DI agent with some really bad possum belly.
I'm a DI agent. Welcome to the Australian DI agency.
DI agency?
But I mean, what do they think goes on in those tunnels?
Wow. Take a big old drink right there. Somehow the public jumped to the conclusion that they were not just tunnels under the DIA, but there were also bunkers. And the bunkers are what delayed the building.
Are these real bunkers?
That's for you to decide.
Wait, I just don't know if there's proof of these yet, or if because
No,
I think I did hear something about that where it's like all the rich people will fly.
We'll get into it.
Okay, I just didn't know, man.
Come on. No, the tunnels are really interesting because they sparked a lot of theories. Another one being that the tunnels did not stay within the airport's property.
Whoa.
And that the tunnels could extend all the way to the Cheyenne Mountain, which is home of NORAD.
NORAD, yeah. Missiles and stuff like that, like satellites and stuff?
It stands for North American Aerospace Defense Command.
Okay, yeah.
So now, obviously, with bunkers comes madness, and there's no way that only the CIA or the government would have interest in lurking in such a thing. So what would make the most sense?
What would make the most sense in terms of what? What would actually be going on down there? Or
Yeah, like who would actually be down there?
I mean, David, we know. Is it the LPs?
That's right. Sexy ass lizard people.
Yeah.
So a representative from the airport named Rentira said, in our marketing campaign in the Great Hall, there's a reference to lizard people in the tunnels. We know that rumor is alive and well. I encourage anyone who believes in it, keep believing. Who knows? Maybe someday we'll see a lizard person. And that sounds exactly what a fucking lizard person would say, goddammit.
Slimy bastard.
They love to taunt
try
us.
To comfort me. Oh, what you're saying? I'm full in now. I dropped the DIA. I'm on your team now because that is, like you said, that's exactly lizard person fucking.
Yeah, exactly what they would say, man.
You wanna put us at ease, make us feel stupid. Ha ha ha! Everything's
it's
a
all
joke.
funny. It's so funny.
I'm gonna steal your flies and then see who's fucking laughing.
Yeah, who's gonna eat all your garbage and compost now?
Wait, do we eat their garbage and compost?
Lizard people?
Oh, I was confused. Okay.
No, no. The flies eat the garbage and compost, but the lizard people eat the flies.
Oh, okay. And then we eat the lizards.
Some people do eat the lizards.
They're juicy.
I don't think they are.
They're probably not.
I think they're pretty dry.
Very dry.
Small, not a lot of meat on them. It's more of a delicacy.
I like to eat the scales.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I would imagine that's like the little popcorn kernel.
Yeah, it gets stuck in your teeth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it does.
Anyway, I'm gonna go get some lizard after this. Please continue.
What's your favorite lizard?
Biguana.
Biguana?
He's big iguana. Hello, welcome to my island. I'm Big Iguana. Biguana.
So another theory.
Eat me.
So another theory is that our favorite creatures under, the cold concrete is. Holy shit! I read that one wrong too. What the fuck? I was
cold
so rushed
concrete
writing this
animals,
shit.
baby.
Another theory puts our other favorite creatures under the cold concrete, and that's right, aliens.
Oh.
Which I mean, if you want to get, some people think that lizard people are aliens, but they could be, not. Who knows?
Well, they're kind of like, they say that lizard people are a hybrid of humans and aliens who have mated and created these human lizard hybrids. So I guess they're half alien if you want to get technical.
So could aliens be living in the bunkers? Well, Renteria also says that it's not true and says it would be against FAA regulations for a UFO to land at the airport.
Wait, I thought he said that there are lizard people. Now he's saying there's no aliens, though?
No, they're saying that aliens aren't allowed to land at the airport.
Come on, you make exceptions.
That's just a bunch of hogwash.
That's hogwash.
That's hogwash. It just is. But yeah, there is another.
I'm gonna leave a bad Yelp review on your airport.
But yet there is another theory of who could be living in the bunkers, and that's obviously the world's elite, the Illuminati. Ooh. Because Jay-Z loves the Denver airport. Yeah, so much, in fact, it's like he lives there.
Wait. I haven't seen Jay-Z anywhere but the Denver airport. Now that
never
I
at
think
an
about it,
NBA game.
how come all of his concerts are at the Denver airport?
That's a good question. I haven't been to one, so I can't deny or confirm, but that sounds right to me.
It is.
I can't think of any other artist I would rather not see perform a concert than Jay-Z.
Oh, you don't want to see Jay-Z?
Not a big Jay-Z fan.
I mean,
I never got it.
He's got good songs, but I just want to see him because he is so like legendary. He's gonna be like he's a top tier guy.
There's
He's
only
been in the
one.
game.
There's only one word that I could imagine to describe a Jay-Z concert, and that's
Underwhelming.
sluggish.
Because he doesn't look like he's not a performer. He gets up, he just does the old meat and potatoes, and he gets off stage.
Yeah.
Beyonce shows up and she does all the work.
Yeah.
She brings a whole fucking marching band out, and he's just like, I turned my head for this one, B. I turned my hat sideways. I don't know. What does Jay-Z say?
Hove.
Nets?
I don't know.
What?
I don't. He says Hove a lot. Hove.
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 He's Jehovah.
Yeah. So many people speculate that the bunkers under the airport are in fact a vault-like living situation for the world's most powerful to run to in case of the big apocalypse.
Yeah. See, that's what I've heard too.
Which for the most part actually kind of makes sense. So let me slide my big old globe across my
If
desk
I was
here.
if there's like an apocalypse, I would like definitely go to like someplace like Denver or something. And they get somewhere high up in the mountains, you know?
Yeah. So
Away.
if you take a little gander at the United States map, Colorado is basically dead center of the United States.
Oh.
Which, if you want to get technical, it's probably the border of Nebraska and Kansas. But ew.
I hate borders.
So the world's elite would place an apocalypse bunker dead center, so then they would all have about the same travel time to get there safely and equally. You know what I mean?
Oh, interesting. Yeah. That makes sense, actually. And also, like,
It's an airport.
no one's going to want to hit Colorado, right? They're going to want to go for, like, the big coastal states and stuff like that.
Honestly, I could be way off, but I remember seeing, like, a map of, like, where people would nuke, and it would be, like, San Francisco, New York, and Colorado.
Oh, shit.
And Denver. Because, like, that would be, like, kind of the biggest shockwave.
Yeah. It probably hit like really big like business hubs and like stuff like that, and really decimate us.
Yeah.
Oh, I hope there's no terrorists listening to this.
If you are, guys, fucking knock it off, huh?
It's hogwash. The
guys
shit
need to-
you're doing is all hogwash.
You just need to sit down, watch a good American show like Young Sheldon, embrace our culture, realize that we can have our differences and live in the same world.
David, don't make
And-
them watch Young Sheldon, and they're gonna hit LA, and I can't have that.
Is that where that's based?
I think Young Sheldon. I think he moved to Eugene.
No.
He's
No.
there.
Bazinga. A laugh track in there. So I think that's enough of bunker tunnel talk. So let's change the topic and let's talk about the time capsule.
Whoa, what?
So the airport time capsule, paired with a plaque which reads, "The time capsule beneath the stone contains messages and memorabilia to the people of Colorado in 2094, which would be the airport's, like 100th year anniversary or whatever, 99 year.
Okay.
Now, there's also a part of the plaque which reads, New World Airport, referring to the fact that the airport is an international airport, and they, they say that, it's a new airport that is available to travel to from the world, which is, why they said New World Airport. But does it mean something more sinister?
Well, I was getting, what it reminded me of?
What?
The New World Order.
Well, people were quick to believe that this, in fact, was referring to the New World Order.
Ooh, not Hulk Hogan's, right?
No. This would be the one, this would be what, people have given the name to the organization that would rule the world after the event of an apocalypse. It also helps that the plaque is decorated with symbols of the Freemasons and Masonic societies.
Whoa. Triangles.
Yeah. And the airport claims this is due to the fact that the local lodges were responsible for the funding to do the time capsule.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Do we know what's in there?
I'm sure someone does, but we won't find out until 2094. So there have been reports of people who are Masons who visit the time capsule and whip out their handy-dandy Mason card, which I don't know what that is, and they try to swipe it near the time capsule to see if something would happen.
What?
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess people have been doing that.
Interesting.
I don't know if it has like a microchip in it, or if they think like there's a camera that'd be like, oh, it's a Mason, let him in. I don't fucking know. The time capsule rises up. There's an elevator in it full of
that's what
baby
I'm
skulls.
thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe that's their Lord and Savior in there, and he'll lead them all into the new world.
Yeah, it's
possible. Like a little baby chocolate. It's like oh my God, they
Yeah.
put Chocolate Rain guy in there. Chocolate Rain guy.
Zane Holiday? What's his name?
No, his name's. Oh my God, why'd you say Zane Holiday? Now it's like fucking me up. Tay Zonde. I saw him in a Trader Joe's.
Yeah,
We
I
made eye
remember that.
contact. He's buying sushi.
I was pretty close with Zane Holiday.
You ain't no Tay Zonde though. But that's who's in there, and he will lead them into the new world.
New World Order.
He's just big enough to fit the time capsule.
He's a slim man with a deep voice.
Slim Shady.
So now it's time to dive into a new story here. If you're familiar with the city of Denver, you are probably aware of Blucifer.
Is that the horse?
The 32-foot, 9,000-pound statue of a blue Mustang.
Ooh.
Blucifer was commissioned as a public art piece from the artist Luis Jimenez. I think
That's
how you...
so cool to make something that big, like near an airport that like so many people know about.
Yeah.
Jeez.
So Luis started the project, but when he was almost done, a piece of the statue fell on him. Luis suffered a severed artery and lived in a very rural area, which was too far to receive proper medical attention.
Dude, shut up.
And Luis died by the hands of his own creation.
No way.
So was the horse haunted? And did it attack his creator? Or, maybe Luis was...
he knew too much.
Maybe he knew too much. Maybe he now haunts the statue.
Ooh.
But,
maybe the DIA is a little fucking cheap, and they're like, we don't want to pay him, so let's just get a guy up there to push a horse eyeball on him or something like that, Big horse eyeball.
I am curious to see, what part it was that fell.
Wow, that's so crazy. He didn't even get to see his, creation. He was building it somewhere else, too. It wasn't like he was building out in front of the airport, huh?
Yeah, because they didn't move it.
Wow.
So the public wasn't very happy when his children finished the art piece and the airport erected the murderous steed with its glowing red eyes and blue skin. It does have glowing red eyes, and a little fun fact is that Luis's dad he worked as a person who made neon lights, and so the red neon light eyes were to honor his father.
Oh, why were people mad that his kids finished it?
They weren't so mad that his kids finished it. They were more mad that they continued. They went ahead and put it up on display.
Oh, well, I mean, it was his last thing he ever built, right? Or just because people were scared that they were haunted, or did they think it was in bad taste?
I think it's all three. Many complaints and petitions were made to remove the art, but it still stands today. So
yeah, that's super fucked up. If that's the guy died doing that, and then they're like, "We're not putting it up anymore," and you're like, "That's very."
I think that's way
insulting.
worse. I think that's
yeah,
way
it's
worse.
so much worse. It's so bad.
So the next part I want to talk about is about even more art. Yeah, more art.
You always talk
Mart.
about art. You're
Mart.
always talking about art, David.
I know, I'm just an artiste. I just have such a big palette when it comes to my flavor of art. Can't help it. I'm a man of the arts.
He likes the Campbell soup one. It's his favorite.
Andy. Oh, I could tell you some stories about Andy.
His crazy hair.
So
That's about it.
almost as popular as the tunnels are, the artwork in the Great Hall are well known as well. So, first of all, in 2018, the airport staff put up posters around the construction of the Great Hall to obstruct the view. And the posters had things like aliens and gargoyles on them, saying things like, yes, Denver has got some secrets. That one had a little green alien with his finger in front of his mouth, like a shush.
Ooh.
And
I love that.
yeah, but the fun doesn't end with the signs, because the airport got themselves a talking gargoyle named Greg.
No.
Yeah.
God, this airport's so cool.
I'm pissed I've never been.
I know.
So Renteria said the gargoyle came out from its hiding to spend more time with people, which he sits and looks over the baggage claim to protect people's belongings.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Greg.
Yeah. Because I guess the original idea of gargoyles was like to protect people. I don't know.
Yeah, like Batman.
Exactly. There's actually a difference between like a gargoyle and like something else. I think like a gargoyle must have a like a gutter system going through its mouth, and if it doesn't, it's like a different thing.
It's
Has like a different
champagne.
name.
It's not champagne anymore.
Exactly.
Interesting. Okay, I gotta do my research on gargoyles now.
Yep. So now we need to talk about the murals. Both murals were made by the artist Leo Tanguma, and one piece is titled, what the hell?
That's a great title piece. I like that a lot.
You know what
actually.
happened here is I copied the title piece to Google search it while I was doing my research, and I somehow deleted it. So it's just gone.
Oh. It's the most David fucking thing I've ever heard.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me scroll down.
Tell me about this gargoyle guy.
What the fuck? What happened? Oh, no. No.
What?
No. All right. We'll just pretend like I said what it was called. It's just gone.
You just don't have it?
I'm sure it'll pop up.
Oh my god.
So let's start that sentence over. One piece is titled quotes, end quotes, and the other is titled In Peace and Harmony with Nature. And both are cautionary art tales that reflect a warning of man-made issues. So the one art piece that's titled In Peace and Harmony with Nature is split into two murals, with the left side showing a scene of destruction, violence, and death. And the one on the right is a mural showing people from many cultures celebrating with animals, which the artist said is a warning that if we don't take care of each other, the planet could look like shit.
Okay.
That's a direct quote. No, it's not. What's even better though is that I don't think I ever added the other name of the fucking mural.
It's okay.
Next
No.
paragraph. The other mural, which I've deleted the name, it's got kids, and the shit is creepy. It shows an evil-looking soldier who is standing menacing over terrified children. The soldier is wielding a large rifle with a bayonet, using terrible trigger discipline. And the other hand is holding a huge sword that has a dead dove pierced at the end.
Oh.
At his feet are three children laying on the ground on top of bricks and rubble, while a destroyed building is to the right. And a strange line of people are leading up to the soldier, and the most visible one that I can see is a weeping mother, I'm assuming, holding what looks to be a dead baby.
Oh my God.
And then the other side is super colorful and happy with, great vibes all around, with the evil soldier crumbled to the ground below the happiness.
It's interesting that, like, this is is it public or private? I don't know. But, like, it's such an interesting thing. Like, that's something that you'd see in an art gallery. But, like, usually, like,
In an
paintings are
airport?
pretty... Yeah, they're usually pretty tame. They're usually just, like, colors and stuff like that. But, like, to see something like that, you're like, whoa, this is crazy. And I prefer that stuff, honestly. But, like, you just don't see it that much in, like, these public places. You usually have to go to some place, like, a little bit more private or, like, a museum or something like that,
Yeah. No, it's like very out of place to put in a like in a fucking airport.
Yeah, dead children in a painting are usually not the vibe most airports are going for.
Yeah.
They usually want to remind you that you're not going to die because everybody's already has such high anxiety at airports and they're already stressed and they walk past that. And I mean, there's the happy side too, though, so that's not bad.
Yeah.
Are you
So
still looking?
the other
painting?
Yeah, it's children. God, fucking ad blockers, you cocksuckers. It is. I gotta do it quick. Children of the World Dream Peace.
Children of the World Dream Peace. Okay.
Yeah. So many see this art as a prediction of an actual apocalypse that is on the way. Seeing the story in the art. They see that soldier being like, oh, that's like, that's the new Nazi. Which, I mean, I can get. The graphic being very the image being very graphic in nature, along with the other theories surrounding the whole apocalypse thing with, everything that's going on.
Exactly.
I get it. You look at all the other conspiracy theories going on at the place about, bunkers with secret societies and shit, and you see this art piece, like, I get it.
Yeah.
I see how your mind can go that way. So another quick conspiracy theory. In the Great Hall, there are letters that read AU and AG in a mining cart that is carved on a tile, which are the atomic symbols for gold and silver, being a nod to the rich history of mining in Colorado. But some people see the AUAG being an abbreviation for Australian antigen, which is a highly lethal toxin, which people believe to be the secret weapon of the Illuminati or whatever secret society will wipe us out.
Whoa.
Yeah.
They're going to send mining carts to everybody's town.
Full of gas.
Full of gas. Oh, and they're going to send the little boy from Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
Short round.
Short stack.
Hold on to your potatoes, Dr. Jones. And then he's just going to roll into your town with a bunch of poison gas. Oh, he's going to get you.
He's going to get you. So this is where I will end this episode. I've personally never been to the Denver airport. And at this point, I don't think I'll ever get to travel again in my life. Unless you fuckers stay home, wear a mask, and wash your goddamn hands.
And honey dip.
See you next week. And honey dip.
And
in the
honey
sink.
dip.
Honey dunk in the sink with your honey dip.
Smoke a pack in the Starbucks bathroom. Honey
Yep.
dip your balls and call it a day.
Air dry.
Air dry.
Shake dry. You use the little blower thing on the wall and let them just bounce around and just cover the walls.
Ooh,
and
it just
wet.
stinks like a sauna in there.
I love that smell.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to another episode of Camp Strange. We love telling you these stories, and we love when you guys want to listen. So thank you so much. If you want any more information, you guys know where to find us on Instagram. Not hard. Camp Strange Podcast. Click the link in bio, and we have all the other stuff there for merch, to find us on any of the popular platforms for podcasts. If you're listening to this on a platform, you already know how to find us. And if you guys want to send us anything, send it to campstrangepodcast@gmail.com, and we're ready to receive them. If you could rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts, that'd be great too. We'd really appreciate that. And I think that's it. David, do we have anything else to say before we head out?
Tell a friend. Share us with a friend. And Jay Leno's real name is Jason Leno.
Is it?
I don't know.
Oh.
Yeah, could be. I don't know. Do you know? You don't know. It could be.
It could be. And don't forget to stay strange.